Thank you again for just believing in me as mayor and helping me to make history of this wonderful village. Because y'all trying to drag my name, it ain't gonna work. At the end of the day, I keep telling y'all gonna put some respect on my name. I keep telling you, just because you wear a suit don't make you suitable. I earned my seat. I won by 82%. I don't know how many times I got to keep telling y'all this.
Incumbent Tiffany Henyard garnered 12% of the vote, while House garnered 87%.
Hi you guys, welcome back. Now I know I'm a little late to the party, but I've been sick and I had to work. So by the time I got home, I was not in the mood to do a video and just needed to rest. So if my voice seems a little weird throughout this video, just know that I'm still recovering from my sickness. But you guys know I had to get on this video sooner than later because this is kind of what it's all been leading up to, right? Okay, so we already know that Tiffany Henyard has lost in her mayoral bid against Jason House. But the fight is not over because Jason still has to beat Cassandra Hopkins-Jordan in the April elections. Now, in my opinion, I don't think Cassandra will win. And I also don't want her to win. Now, I know I usually don't just come out and give my opinions about people I don't really know. You know, I have been given much opinions though about Tiffany because I have researched her for a while now. And she's been pretty much an open book as it pertains to her corruptness and selfishness. And just what type of general person she is, being a full-blown narcissist and more than likely a sociopath. In my opinion, okay? But let's get on with it and talk a little bit more about why I feel Cassandra should not be the next mayor either. And to put it simply, she came out of nowhere. You know, who is she affiliated with in Dolton? She says she's lived in Dolton for a very long time, and yet I have never seen her at any of the board meetings. And believe me, I've watched basically all of them, dating back to Tiffany Henyard's earlier days as a trustee. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know I have so many videos pertaining to this matter in Dolton. So also this Cassandra lady has not mentioned any real plans to get Dolton moving forward. And in fact, people are saying that she is like a Tiffany 2.0 or a Tiffany on steroids. I personally don't trust her because she's been heavily into real estate for most of her adult life. You know, let's just look at this little rap sheet of all the property she's owned and where she's been. So my guess is that she sees Dolton abandoned houses as apples ripe for the picking, and that she might have plans just to make a lot of money through buying and selling houses in Dolton. That's my opinion, you guys. Now, I do agree that Dolton needs to do something with their abandoned houses, but unfortunately, the only people who have had the authority to do those things with the houses have had their own ulterior motives. So let's look at Tiffany's block by block initiative. She, you know, something that she's been harping on from way back in the day, even when she was a trustee.
I'm asking for the Board of Trustees to support me in moving our village forward by getting rid of the vacant properties in town. When I came in, I basically started block by block as a trustee. I did have the support of some trustees up here, and then all of a sudden everyone flipped. Next is approval of block by block program. So I will start with, I have put this on the agenda several times. It relates to putting the vacant property back on the tax roll. This would include getting property for $1 or $5,000 to community.
You know, she's pushing for residents to buy dollar houses. Now, the major issue with this program that she could never really seem to pull together and present before the board was the legalities of it and the liability factors that came with these dollar houses.
Now, Mayor, I want to comment on this one because I think maybe I want to ask from you because maybe the miscommunication is coming through when it's getting to us. This program, so there was a document prepared that as we asked for it. Mayor, do you know when that document was received by the board?
Go ahead, continue.
That was a question for you, Mayor.
No, go ahead with your statement.
Okay, so thank you for presenting the document. I would like to have time to discuss this with it. It was sent to the board today at 3:00 p.m., a 14-page document before we got here. So I feel that we are making some progress on this. I'm appreciative of that, but I would ask that we get enough time to actually digest it and have further discussion. Thank you.
Mayor, you discussed the block by block program. just so the residents know, because there should be full transparency, you stated that there's no movement in regards to us figuring out a plan for the vacancies. We had a housing committee meeting where, as you stated, we did adopt the South Suburban Land Bank. The South Suburban Land Bank is one who we once had before, in which you voted on as a trustee. So this same program, this same company is the same company that we brought back to deal with the vacancies. But now, as a mayor, I see that you're against it. What do? Take care of vacancies. So if we're saying, hey, we've already adopted them, they've already voted us in, we know that they're going to take care of the liens, the taxes, the water bills. They're going to be liable for the insurance. You say we take over all these properties, but what's our plan in regards to these properties? We're now liable for these properties once we take them over. So any liability we take, why not just give them to the land bank so that they can do, because this is what they specialize in. Neighboring Calumet City uses the land bank to get rid of their vacancies. So all I really wanted to do is just for the residents who aren't aware, who haven't been watching the meetings, just so they know, just to clear up something that you stated, we do have a plan in place, and that is the land bank.
She was basically going to be giving away free houses, knowing that most of the residents who got into these contracts on these dollar houses would not be able to maintain or keep them. Then she and her cronies could sweep in and take the houses for themselves.
How y'all doing? My name is DeMarcus Strickly. I got more than one house.
That is my opinion on it. That's my recap of what I feel her little block by block initiative was. And that's why I think the trustees didn't want to go through with it, because they knew how Tiffany Henyard was. And, you know, she was always talking about how much into real estate she was.
You want us to give a property, an unsafe piece of property, to a nonprofit that's going to have people in it.
Yes.
And take the risk of that property.
Yes, I do. And you let me explain why. Because I don't like how you sit here and try to make people believe it's unsafe. Unsafe.
And
I do
Mr.
real
Engineer,
estate for a living. Hold on.
Mr. Engineer, did you go in that building?
So if you want to buy a property, we want property that's abandoned, got mold, roof cave in, whatever, and you're gonna fix it.
And so now that brings me back to why Cassandra would not be an ideal candidate for mayor either. She has not been out and about, and she definitely has not been involved in her local government. Also, whenever I watched any of her campaign interviews she's done, I never once heard her really talk bad or reprimand Tiffany Henyard's behavior. The way she did it was kind of like how a school teacher would say something about a child. And, you know, it wasn't really just straightforward and blunt with it. It was very softball-like, and she would kind of walk around on eggshells about talking about Tiffany Henyard, but she went hard on the trustees. Make no mistake about that. So I would advise the citizens not to vote for her, but that's, once again, my opinion. Now, let's get to something else that bothered me about the victory gathering held by Clean House 2025. And that's the appearance and speech of Stan Brown.
In 2021, Ms. Copeland, I came and helped the dream team. And as we went on, the dream kind of withered away, but I still stuck with the team as a whole.
Now, I know a lot of people, including myself, was like, why are they letting this super mayor, super spy talk at all? Because we all know that Stan Brown has been by Tiffany's side from way back in the day, and he has always sided with her throughout her mayoral tenure, even though she has shown nothing but disrespect to the trustees and most of the residents as well. Throughout all her shenanigans, Stan has always been a loyal little lapdog. Now, the thing that bothered me the most about Stan always taking Tiffany's side is that he knows full well how to stand up and speak for himself and go against what he feels is wrong. And in fact, he had no problems doing this with the previous mayor, Riley Rogers. Let's take a look.
This is a taxpayer's question by me being a 28-year resident here in the village of Dolton. So if you're a taxpayer, you can understand this. And with the hope the board understand this here, because you guys are really new at what's going on. So you're going to get caught up in it too. How much money is in the TIF?
No question.
Okay. I'm just saying this so you can at least hear it. Some people need to hear this. Even though it's not going to be answered, they do need to hear it. Because some people have to talk for others. How much money is in the TIF? And how much money are you looking to take out of the TIF to go into general funds, where general funds has a chance to be misappropriated and mishandled? That's loose money with no check and balance to it. So that's just something I want to put on your head, new trustees, because we did get a bond about 3 years ago, $2.5 million bond that we supposed to have done something with, and that money went straight out. It was supposed to have been still sitting on the shelf, and it ran out like water. Bonds is not going to get the village of Dolton out of the debt that we're supposed to be in. And you can't be in a position 6 years, Mayor, instead of talking about we broke. I've been paying taxes for 20 years. And there's a room full of other people here been paying taxes for many other years. I didn't hear that small. I didn't hear what you say, small mouth. What you say? What you say?
Watch the tape.
What?
Watch the tape.
Well, you've been here 6 years. You was a terrible trustee then anyway, and stepped into the mayor role. So we're gonna start that little signifying. Open the door. Cause that's what you're good for. Saying small remarks,
right?
Little bad wording. When somebody asks a question, there's always got to be something smart come out your mouth instead of standing up and answering the question. But I just say this to you, resident: everything is not a joke. Everything is not a joke. If you're a taxpayer, you really feel it. So when you be taking out bonds, that's money. More money is going to come out of your pocket. So individuals that's misappropriating them dollars, just want to let you know that some of us are still watching. We're going to still live here. And I just hope that you trustees understand that. It's just that important.
So yeah, that's Stan Brown talking bad to the previous mayor about taking out loans. Now let's see how Stan handles the same dilemma when Tiffany Henyard is the mayor and she's trying to take out loans.
We got trees just falling on individual houses and roofs. If you guys were out there, you can actually see these things. This is some real stuff. So it has to be money being spent. In order to run a village, you're going to have to get bonds. You're going to have to get loans. We're not making enough money to pay the police department, the fire department, and public works. Those are some expensive entities that we have to pay for to run a village. So we can give out tickets and code enforcement and give out citations. That's still not enough money. We had to get some bonds. We had to borrow some money. That's automatic. If you're a taxpayer, you really feel it. So when you be taking out bonds, that's money. More money is going to come out of your pocket. So every village around is doing that. From Calumet City to beautiful South Holland, they're getting bonds. They're borrowing money. But I hear you, other trustees, and I'm not picking sides, but I'm just looking at what we're going to do. Just keep fighting and get nothing done. It's unfair to say the mayor is just spending money. Where is she putting the money at? Just as you doing the mayor, you got her back against the wall. What do you expect her to do? Give her some room. Give her a little room in the back so she can wiggle out and say, okay, we can sit down and come to a happy medium. But you guys are not giving no room to get to the happy medium because it's just fight. So we're going to fight till election time. And yeah, the residents gonna speak, but I say to you residents, pay attention to who you're electing in there. We need to check ourselves out because we're not doing a good job as a board.
So as we can see, there's a glaring difference. You know, he acts like Tiffany can't do any wrong. Oh, let's just work for her. Let's just work with her, give her a chance, you know. But on the other hand, with the previous mayor, he wasn't having it, and he got up and let it be known. So it always amazes me how he could sit up there throughout Henyard's whole mayoral tenure and just co-sign all her misdeeds and disrespect. In my opinion, Tiffany might have something on Stan, and that's why he always had her back. Even though towards the end, he started to climb the fence a little bit towards the trustee's side, but he never really crossed over until they won. At least that's what he wants it to appear that he did, right? I feel like he wants it to appear that he is on the trustee's side, but I think they know they can't really trust him. But there was a comment that someone mentioned when I was watching this YouTuber, Dear Wrote Christian, because he did a live. And one of the moderators mentioned that Stan's term is not up. So, you know, I didn't really think about that. And that is the absolute truth. So while people might be upset with Stan Brown and want him gone with Tiffany Henyard, there is nothing they can do about it. And they just have to wait until his term is up to vote him out. Also, I believe the trustees let him speak because they have to stand on what they claim to represent. And that is fairness and transparency, right? So if they were to exclude Stan, then they might have tarnished their win and victory by doing something Tiffany would have done. And that's shutting down an elected official's voice. So while it might not be ideal, they they all still have to work together, and I feel that them allowing Stan to speak spoke volumes in itself as to how they're capable of compromise in the face of adversity. Well, you guys, that's going to be it today. Let me know how you feel about everything that's going on. Let me know what you think about Cassandra Hopland Jordan. Do you think she has a chance? I honestly don't think so. I think the people want to go with what they know, and they know Jason House and his team, and they have seen them fight throughout this past 4 years against Tiffany Henyard. So I don't think there's much to worry about there, but they still need to get out there and vote to solidify it, right? They still need to get out there and vote. So if you guys have hung in this long, please remember to hit that like button for me. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. But don't go away just yet, because I have a lot of footage I put together for you guys, including some of the Clean House 2025 victory speech highlights and just a little mix of some things. You guys know how I like to do, mix a little old with a little bit of new. Thank you so much for watching.
We faced 4 years of intimidation, 4 years of failure, and tonight is the new day for the community of Dolton. We're going to start with our new senior trustee, Tammy Brown.
You get up here and cry wolf about, hey, y'all did not reach out to my person, you didn't do this. It's 5 of y'all. 5 of y'all had total control to have a committee meeting, to introduce your person, to put it on the agenda. Y'all put everything else on the agenda, right? But you didn't put that on this agenda. I wish I would stop playing these games with these residents and actually vote for something that makes sense. Don't y'all want to get rid of the vacant property? We tired of talking about it. We tired of talking about it.
Mayor, again, the program has to be followed by the proper channels. The proper channels is for the village administrator. It doesn't come before committee first. You have to speak to the village administrator first. And if he does not respond, then you can't move forward. So stop saying, I'm putting it out there and nothing is being done. I can't make a move if the village administrator don't move.
Trustee,
proper channels, you follow the proper channels first. The proper procedures is to get the village administrator involved first, and then he comes to the housing committee. We can't move if he doesn't move.
Okay, so trustee.
So stop saying I'm grandstanding. I don't have to grandstand.
You are.
It's not my committee. The committee is Trustee Norwood's. It's not Trustee Brown.
I'm going in order of seniority here. We bring it up. Trustee, my brother, Edward Steve.
I'm thankful that this meeting is here. For 2 years, 3 years, she said everything was here was illegal. Now she's forced to come here to do the right thing. The judge forced her to come here to do the right thing. And she's been saying that secret squirrel meeting for how long? And people were believing it.
And you guys don't want to pay any of the bills. Like y'all know, we got other bills besides you talking about an ice rink. We have other bills to pay.
How much is it for roofs? Haven't we paid $40,000, $50,000 for roofs? We haven't, y'all hear the grant. We haven't heard, where's this grant at?
Okay, did you ask any questions to find out where any of this stuff is?
Have you contacted any of your board leader? I guess you didn't hear nothing I said then.
I heard what you just said.
We raised enough money to pay it. Did you hear me say that?
So you don't think you should cover this expense?
$15?
The $1,000?
No.
Do you feel you should cover it?
I just told you that it's covered. This is not the correct way to do it. We found out about him when we got the agenda. We talked to him on Sunday for 20 minutes. Again, no background check was given, even though we implemented. We passed it to get the background, that still hasn't been given. We got his resume as we were talking to him. So this mayor was a trustee for 8 years. This was not brought across the board the right way. It's the last minute, and then it's forced on us. And then you wonder why we do this. You know this is the wrong way to do this. You complained about this for 8 years. You did it all wrong. My name is Edward Steve, former trustee. It's good to see everybody. It's enough of hearing paid actors to come up here and talk, and paid employees to come up here and talk about what's really going on. Listen, let me be clear. It is not, we did not get that $30 million lawsuit, whatever lawsuit was, because we left the meeting. I got in an executive session and asked the question quickly. Very clear. Was that the reason why? They said no, it's because the insurance didn't want to settle. I'm gonna FOIA the minutes, I'm gonna put it out there so you can hear for yourself. So you keep hearing one narrative and it's misleading. It's dangerous to hear one side of everything and believe it. Nobody forces mayor to dress like Nino Brown.
Nobody knows something. Don't nobody know nothing? Yeah. Nobody. Super Mayor.
That's embarrassing for this whole community that the leader would do that. This has to stop. This has to stop. We got a clean house. We got to vote all of them out. All of them out. Stan Brown, Andrew Holmes don't say nothing. Nothing. Y'all sit up there quiet. What do you have on you? Y'all don't have no freedom to speak? Do you have any nuts? Anything?
Newly re-elected for baby girl. Come on, Trustee Brittany Norwood.
So when you say things like, well, we're spending money, the thing is, this is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy. We were elected just like you were elected. You are not the only voice for the people. The people elected 7 people. The system is designed with 7 elected officials in mind. 7. It's not just your way or the highway, and that's why we're here, Mayor. If you humble yourself, you can work with your team, and we can work together to do the best for the residents. You hold up the whole meeting and say we're wasting time just because you didn't want me to speak when you could let me speak and we could have moved on.
We do not have the receipts, and we do not have the documentation. You know, it baffles me how many you sit here and you say, well, I got the receipts. Well, please show us all the receipts. Like I stated, we do not have the receipts. We have not received financial statements showing where we are as the village since September. We have a Jumbotron right here that we use for everything else. If we have, show us on the Jumbotron so us and the rest of America can see where you all sent the trustees the financial statements, the credit card statements. We have not received credit card statements since last year around this time. At one point, when Trustee Belcher asked for them, the director, Tanjanique, stated, we cut the credit card off. Trustee Belcher said, okay, can you just show us where we cut the credit card off? We still haven't received any proof showing that we cut the credit card statements off. Here's the Jumbotron, show it to us, where you sent it to the trustees, showing us proof where we cut off the credit card statements. I find it strange that the credit card is supposed to be cut off, but yet every month we're sitting here and we're voting on a credit card statement. Seems ridiculous. Nobody, no smart person with intelligence vote on something that they cannot see, like the blind leading the blind. That's what will not happen.
We're going to talk about the enforcer.
That's what she is.
My sister and a newly re-elected trustee, Kiana Belcher.
Let's call the roll.
Excuse me, excuse me, Mayor. Just so I can be correct, since we're about transparency, I asked Janice Johnson to pull all of 592, which is special events, because in the budget you allotted for $30,000. I received a report today, so I came with receipts, and this does not even include the media. You have spent $30,881.80. So I don't want anybody to say that somebody is giving fake numbers unless that means one of the employees is giving it, because I asked this because you always see contact the people so we can get the information, and that's what I did before I came here, so I can make sure that I had accurate information.
And I know I did not spend no $30,000.
You
so
just
you
said
keep
you
saying
didn't know
I
how
spent
much it
$30,000, so be it.
So if you tell, if
I
that's
said
not
for that
correct,
one item, I
you
did
said
not.
you didn't know how it was, so you don't know how much.
Trustee, if I just said I don't know how much they spent on a banner for outside, I didn't. I don't gotta lie about that. I didn't know what they spent $100. They spent $200. It's a banner. It's for advertisement for outdoors. So what I'm saying to you is that if you ever have a problem with something, instead of grandstanding, you can call my phone and say,
I'm not
Mayor,
grandstanding.
I need to
I went
talk.
to the
I have a
appropriate
problem.
person.
Hold on, Trustee. Can I finish? Thank you. So if you have a problem with anything, you can come and talk to me, just like anybody else up here. So we don't have to do this for the public. The public said they was tired of this. You ran with me on my ticket, and what did they tell us? Don't do this. And what are you doing? You're doing this.
wanted honesty.
So what I'm
They
saying
wanted
to you is,
honesty.
let's
So
move
ain't
forward
nobody
now.
doing nothing.
Whatever, trustee, you are out of order. You do not have
No,
the
I'm
floor.
not.
Trustee, you don't have the floor. Thank you. Yes, you are. Learn your Robert Rules of Order. You out of order. So now that I have the floor, I would like to move forward. You guys made up y'all mind on the items you want to take out. You will have to pay the vendors. They did do the work. So let's move forward on the vote. Clerk Key, if you would, call the roll. Thank you.
Sure.
That's
Trustee
so rude.
Holmes. Trustee
No,
Holmes.
you're being rude. You out of order.
All right.
Go ahead.
Trustee Dorr.
I took an oath to make sure that I do what is in the best interest of the village.
Next, we have Class personified. We have the most amazing clerk in the Southland, newly re-elected and unopposed in April, Clerk Allison Key.
Sorry, on February 5th minutes, you said they need to be amended. If you can let me know what those amendments are so I can make the adjustments, because I don't know what they are.
What I'm saying to you, clerk, and no one's trying to go back and forth with you. I'm just trying to make it clear, because every time we come, it's not clear. And you say you get it. I'm saying that in the minutes, I want my stuff to be written on the things I really say, because you're the record keeper. So somebody go for you the minutes, and then you wrote something that I didn't say or didn't do, then they're wrong, and they would think them are right. But when I went back, I watched the tape.
I'll make the changes.
I know, but this what I'm saying. Every time we do this, you never make any type of change. And I've been telling you for years that you never write my portion of what I say. And then when you do write anything, it's not accurate. And then I go look at the tape and I'm like, okay, that's your job. You ran to be a clerk. That means to check the minutes. So then you don't write it in there. But everybody else got a whole paragraph, a whole book of whatever they said in the meeting. But mine, it was always referred to the mayor's office. But everybody that say something up here, you write anything they all say, anything. But me, you don't write nothing I say.
Now, each month, the village clerk submit minutes to go on the agenda. Each month, my minutes are not placed on the agenda to be approved by the Board of Trustees. Last week, I submitted 4 sets of minutes for 4 meetings that we recently had, March 21st, April 1st, and then 2 on April 8th. Why my minutes are not being put on this agenda to be approved, I do not understand. This is not the Tiffany Henyard meeting. This is the Board of Trustees meeting. So she should not be the only person who can place things on this agenda.
Thank you so much. We have endured so much. But we want to say we couldn't have made it without the residents and people from all over the world that showed that love and support. And like I said, it's overdue. Victory is ours today. So thank you so much for sharing this moment.
We came back. 35, 36, 3,000 votes, 3,600 votes, 87%. It's time to take this community back. None of this is about money. This is about doing the right thing for the time that we live in.
Tonight, we celebrate a victory, guys. We realize that teamwork make the dream work. We realize that if you want to go far, you go with a team. If you want to go fast, you go alone. Okay? That's right. So this is what the things that my grandmother taught me. Thank you to my grandmother, may she rest in peace. This right here is a win for everybody, not just us. But we not finished. No. We gotta come back in April. Right. You know, she done threw one of her trolls in, but we gotta come back in April and do this again. But right now starts the transition of transparency, accountability, holding us accountable. That's all we've been trying to do. Hold us accountable.
You know what? You guys pushed us. You pushed us hard and we felt it. And we knew that this was just not a fight with elected officials. The other officials higher above us thought, hey, leave them alone. This is just an elected official group fighting each other. And that was not the case. So we reached out to you guys and we said, you guys need to let them know you're not happy. It's not elected officials fighting, it's all of us fighting. And you came out and you showed out and you showed up and you showed out. And I thank each and every one of you guys because we would not be here if it were not for you.
So 87% later, we're going to call this a new day. So with that, today is the first that marks an end to a dark day in Dolton. There is no more Dolton disappointment. 4 years of frustration are over. And the Board of Trustees have said for the longest time, if you want to keep on passing us the responsibility and passing us the buck, then pass us that seat with it.
Let me see what the actual numbers